Hello and welcome to this quick demo of ArcGIS Insights. Today, I will show you how a hospital or a health system can take advantage of ArcGIS Insights in order to analyze, visualize, and even make predictions with community health need assessment data. Let me go ahead to Insights, and as you know, you are able to add information from your ArcGIS Enterprise account, and even you are able to find local files that could be Excel, CSV, and so on. In this case, I have a table here that is coming from my database. It's a table that contains information from my community health need assessment. If I pull this table into the canvas, you can see that I have the options to create a map, a chart, or a table. I will open this option, map, and quickly you can see now the service area of the San Fernando Valley Hospital. I can modify the symbology. I just need to go ahead here. Maybe what I want to symbolize is the number of asthma hospitalization cases that we have in the region. So I just need to look for the variable asthma. And as you can see, we have different ways to symbolize this map. Let's use this one. And now I can modify even the size of the outline. And there we go. We have a map. You can see quickly that we have a concentration of asthma hospitalization in the very center of the service area of the San Fernando Valley Hospital. Also, what I can do is create charts and visualizations that help me understand what is the situation, the current situation of my service area. So let's go ahead and create a tree map. We'll select, in this case, city, and then asthma hospitalizations. We put these two variables into the map, select chart, and select tree map. Quickly, I can see that Van Nuys is the city that has the higher concentration of asthma hospitalizations. You can see how I can filter the information in the map visualization by clicking on this chart. And this is a really important thing to take into consideration. Every step that I am doing in Insight is interconnected. Actually, if I select the analysis view, you will see that behind the scenes, the software is creating a workflow that then I can use to replicate the same workflow with a different data set. Let's go back to our visualization. And now let's create a new one. But the visualizations that I want to create needs to be deeper. I would like to know what would be the causes that people living here have such a high rate of asthma hospitalization. Fortunately, I have access to a wide variety of data sets using ArcGIS re-enrichment. I just need to go ahead here, select Enrich Data, open the data browser, and let's find some meaningful variables for this case. Let's go to United States. I just need to select here, for example, children. Let's find the variable for children. There we go. And then I want to pull the variable related to smoking. Let's go ahead here. Perfect. The number of people smoking cigarettes. I just need to apply this, run, and in less than 1 minute, we will get those variables. You can see how the server is working right now. You're enriching each of these census tracts and creating a new layer. If If I go ahead now, you can see that I have now my new two variables, children and smoking cigarettes. So what I will do is select those variables. Let's start with children, city, and now I will create a different chart. In this case, a bubble chart. And it's really interesting that bank noise that have a high rate of asthma hospitalization also have a high rate of concentration of children. Let's do the same for our new variable on smoking rates. In this case, I will select the variable and I will create a table. This table has the summary of every census tract in terms of how much people are spending in smoking products. I can create a table, or I can select again the variable, and what I can create also is a KPI indicator. And look what I can do now. I will select Bank Nice. You can see the total number of children in that city and the total number of people smoking cigarettes in the last 12 months. So you can see how insights not only can help you to visualize, but also to connect your data, your internal data, with the vast amount of variables that we have in ArcGIS. Now, let me show you how you can use insights to do analysis. Let's go ahead to our next tab. We have again our data. And what I want to do is to take into consideration some of the variables that we have to identify those areas that I consider are the most vulnerable. I have information, as you saw, on, for example, emissions, toxic emissions in the area, the rates of consumer spending on asthma drugs, smoking rates, and the rate of children in the area. But as you notice, each of these variables, and let me show you very quick here, are on different scales. So let me close this. What I need is to show you the table. So if I try to create an index right now, you will see that there is a huge difference between the scale of some of those variables to other variables. So what I need is to normalize these variables so it is meaningful to put them together to create an index. Fortunately, I can do that using one of the functions that we have in Insights for ArcGIS. If I go to Find Answers, how it's distributed, I can calculate a Z-score. So let's start calculating a Z-score for particulate matter. Run. And you can see how automatically the software have created the Z-score. And also in the table, we have a new field. Let's do this for each of the variables that we want to create for our index. As a result, what we get is the Z-score for each of these variables. Now, if I open the table, you can see that the software has generated a Z-score that is normalized. Now, what I can do is take these four variables, create a new one, and then calculate my vulnerability index. I can take each of these variables, I can apply a weight if I want, or I just can add each of those to create a composed index. And that's what we have here. We have our vulnerability index based on these four C scores. Select how is this related? create regression model. And what we want to predict is asthma hospitalization. Then we want to select the predictors. In this case, all of this. We don't want to repeat asthma. There we go. Select and run the model. As a result, you can see that we create a regression model. It has an R-square of about 80%. So we will use this model here to predict the values for a county. We just need to select this model, verify that all the fields match, and then run the model. As a result, we will get a prediction for the whole county. These are some functionalities that health and human services organizations can use to explore their data and to gain insights. Thank you very much.